Thomas knew he would have to meet Peter Sam, so he raced off down the line. "It won't take long, don't worry, Michael," he said. But Thomas didn't notice a light in the distance until it was too late. Michael stopped Thomas and they reversed into a siding. Just in time to see the diesel roll past. "Bust my buffers," said Thomas. "That diesel means trouble." Peter Sam had arrived in the secret island. The track he was on was flooded. He didn't like it at all. Everything was overgrown and very deserted. "I hope Thomas finds me," said Peter Sam, as he struggled on through the water. The track sunk into the marsh, but he pressed on. "I hope my friends are here, otherwise, I don't know what will happen to me." Buildings were deserted, and old trucks lay by the tracks. "I'm not afraid," said Peter Sam. But Peter Sam secretly was. He only had his driver for company. "Maybe I am a bit then," he said to himself. His driver stopped him at a junction. They could hear a noise in the distance. "I can hear wheels rolling," he said to his driver. They looked around. Suddenly, they could hear the noise coming closer. "Oh no," said Peter Sam. "At least I've got my driver." Then a light shone from down the line. It was only Duncan. "You scared me," said Peter Sam. "I need your help," said Duncan. "The other engines do. I can't help them alone." "Why?" "They've been trapped. Can you help? Please, I'll show you where it is." "Of course," said Peter Sam. "If you show me the way." "Of course I will," said Duncan. And the two engines set off down the line. Further down the line, Rusty was derailed with Skarloey. They couldn't move and they needed help. "I can hear an engine." "So can I. I hope it's not the diesel." Luckily it wasn't. It was Duncan and Peter Sam. "Thank goodness you're here. You must help." And so they did. Their drivers attached chains between both engines, and soon they were reversing to pull them back onto the tracks. Thank you. Both engines were very grateful, but Peter Sam was very curious. "What's in that old shed?" he said to them. "Listen, Peter Sam, we don't mean to be rude, but we're not here to explore. We must get out of here." But Peter Sam was too curious, and he went down an old line. His driver coupled up to an old object. He started pulling it out. The object rattled as they pulled it out. They didn't know what it was until they could see his nameplate. And on the side read Duke. It can't be. "Oh, hello," said Duke. "Oh, Grandpuff, you're still surviving." "Oh, shut up," said Duke. "Now come on, we need to get out of here." "Yes, we do, but we don't know the way." "What do you mean, you don't know the way?" "Can't we just go back the way we came?" "Oh, no, that's the way in, not the way out," said Rusty. "I know the way out, I think. If you follow me." All the engines were lined up. Duke had to be pulled by Peter Sam. Now, I may have to warn you about something fairly tragic. Rheneas has been scrapped. Me and Sir Handel, we tried to save him, but we were too late. I'm sorry to tell you all this, but It just saves the surprise. You liar, said Rusty. How could you say something like that? It's true. I wouldn't joke. The engines fell silent as they rushed off to find the exit. Back on Sodor, Thomas was trying to find a line that went to the secret island. But the diesel was hiding in a siding just outside of Rosie's rock shop. An old bridge was supported there and was hanging dangerously over the line. The narrow gauge track beside it was closed because of this. The diesel was waiting for Thomas to arrive. As Thomas sped down the line, he crashed into the rock, and Boulder started moving. The chains came undone, and Boulder rolled towards the old bridge. It smashed into the support and fell over Thomas's line, just missing him. The diesel was disappointed and rolled away. Thomas was very surprised. "Bust my buffers," he said. "What was that?" The diesel was now out of sight, and the bridge and Boulder had ruined everything. The Fat Controller was most annoyed. "Thomas, I don't know what you think you're doing, going around trashing the island. We're all sad Rheneas is gone, but this attitude does not show the appreciation of my railway. It will take a long time to clear this up."
So it wasn't us.
"Sir, it wasn't us, be quiet. You got nothing to do with it." Thomas thought it was best to say nothing. Harvey arrived to clear the mess, and Jack and Alfie worked together to clear off the mud. Jack loaded Percy's trucks full of mud and went back to get the rest. Both friends worked hard as Harvey pulled the boulder back onto its perch. Then both Jack and Alfie lifted the bridge section together and put it back upright so that everything was safe again. "Perfect," said Jack. "Now wasn't that fun?" he said to Alfie. Sir Handel puffed in. "What do you think?" said Jack. But Sir Handel wasn't smiling. "Well, if you knew what the Fat Controller had done, you probably wouldn't have helped." "What do you mean?" said Percy. He was very confused. "What, haven't you heard? The Fat Controller scrapped Rheneas earlier." Jack fell silent. Later that day, Jack and Alfie were loaded onto flatbeds for Thomas to take away. He was to take them back to Miss Jenny. "Thank you for helping," said Thomas. "I'm sorry about the bad news. None of us are happy about it, really." And Thomas steamed away. Later that day, he puffed back down the line to have a rest. He was very tired. He joined his friends in the siding. But something was following him. "What's that noise?" said Percy. "I don't know," said Thomas. "I can't hear anything." "Well, I can," said James, and around the corner sped the large cross diesel. "Tell me where your Fat Controller is now." Thomas tried to be brave, but when he saw the spike on top of him, he decided to change his mind. Henry started to panic. Thomas didn't know what to say. "He's in his office," said Thomas. "If you're lying," said the diesel, "I will come back and scrap you. You'll see." The Fat Controller, of course, wasn't in his office. He was watching the lake, when suddenly a man came over to talk to him. "Excuse me, sir. We'd like you to see some video footage." "Ooh, video footage," said the Fat Controller. Soon he was in the man's office. "Now this video footage was taken the night of your accident," he said, and he played it. "I know that
diesel.